Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the unusual curiosity that is the Out There Hours After Hour Show, broadcasting live across the known universe on Ustream. We're tweeting like a twitty little bird in a tree, talking nonsense like gibbering idiots on Facebook.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
Yay! We probably need to get an After Hours jingle, really, don't we?
I thought that was the jingle.
No, well, that's the Out There Hour jingle, but we're kind of using it over and over again. We're regurgitating it.
Okay. This is a very exciting show.
It is indeed,
I'd
very
like
much
to say
so.
good morning, America, Great Britain, and Europe.
Good morning, everybody, and particularly our viewers in Kuwait.
And Nigeria.
We're big in a lot of countries. We're big in Saudi Arabia.
And Kuwait.
Oman. We're big in Oman. We're big in Israel this week as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, new one. Somebody in Israel, or some people in Israel, just suddenly decided that we were it.
I think the listenership dropped ever so slightly in Nigeria.
It did a little bit, yeah.
And I think I know why.
Yeah.
I think I know why.
Why is that then?
Well, we blew the scam, didn't we?
Oh, the gold.
The email scam.
Yeah.
You know, when they write to you and say that they've got a lot of money that they need to move to a bank account in a Western bank
For only $2,000.
For only $2,000,
They can send you so much money.
We went and told everybody.
We mentioned it. We've outed them, unfortunately.
We went and told everybody about it. That's why the listenership went down.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we say some? Oh, I'm not really sure why some others have gone up, and I'm still not sure why we're big in Kuwait. We not got any messages from anybody to let us know. None of our Kuwaiti listeners have emailed in, or maybe they'll come in now. We're on live. Maybe they're
give us a shout.
Maybe they're free in Kuwait.
On Ustream if you want to find it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, if they're listening to us now, then they're on Ustream already, so they're already looking at us. There's a chat room on there, and we're monitoring that.
Listen in and say hello and join in the conversation this morning.
There's a conversation?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Right, okay. Let's be professional about this.
Okay, let's go.
What we're going to do? What we're going to talk about first?
We're going to do topics.
Topics? What's your first topic?
I guess Disney Club.
Disney Club. The Disney Club.
Something occurred to me about the Disney Club.
What is it?
Something we wouldn't know so much about in Europe. But it just occurs to me that the Mickey Mouse Club...
Yeah.
Which ran in the 80s. A lot of the kids on it went on to become major pop stars in the 90s.
They did, didn't they? Yeah. They did quite well out of that.
Well, listen to this. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Justin Timberlake.
I didn't know all of those were on there, but yeah, that's
Isn't
interesting.
that weird, Mark? 3 of them were Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
And then went on to be major stars.
How strange, yeah.
Am I right to say in the 90s or...
Yeah, 90s, yeah, mostly 90s.
2000s.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Timberlake's still going, I suppose.
What's all that about then?
Not really sure. Maybe they were groomed on Disney.
Doesn't say a lot about modern music, does it?
Well, what do you mean? The ability to actually make something of yourself without knowing somebody in the know? That kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It means it's totally manufactured.
It is manufactured, definitely, yeah.
You know, from the age of like, I don't know how old the kids would have been. I mean, they would have started, what would it be, 9 or 10 or something like that?
They were fairly young on that show, certainly, weren't they?
Well, listeners in America can tell us.
Oh, you mean the listenership? Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, but no, but the kids...
The presenters were very young.
Christina Aguilera and Britney, they would have been 9 or 10 or something when they were on the Mickey Mouse.
Well, as young as that?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that odd?
I know there has been a few people on there who were presenters, who were sort of in their late teens who were on there, who went on to be quite big, but I can't remember some of the names now. There's been quite a few. It's been a bit of a hothouse for making TV and music talent, hasn't it?
Yeah. And of course, there's some wacky theories out there about the connection between Satanism and Disney.
Now here we go. Go on.
I haven't got.
You connect it with everything. Go on. It's all Satanism.
I haven't got a lot of details on it. I just noticed that people do stills on animated Disney movies.
Yes.
And there'll be the word subliminally. I didn't say that properly, did I?
Not really.
Can you say it?
Subliminarily.
Subliminally.
Subliminally.
Like the word sex will be in some clouds or...
Now, are this just people seeing what they want to see?
Well, listen, they...
If you squint...
No. Yeah. They pause the video, they put a red ring around it, and you will see the word sex in Disney animated movies.
Yeah.
And there's also another famous scene, I think it's The Little Mermaid, at a wedding scene, and there's this fish man, and he clearly has an erection.
That's funny.
Is that
in The Little Mermaid?
And that's also put in a red circle.
Oh, I've got to look
and
for
pointed
that.
out. Yeah, well, we'll find it. Are you going to look for it
I'm
now?
looking for it right
because
now.
we
I wanna
really
see
haven't
it.
got time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Well, you can have a look for it, and I'll chat away to the.
No, I've moved on now.
To the listeners,
You've
moved on already.
I move on fast.
We'll come back and we'll cover Satanism in Disney.
Yes.
And the fact that Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen.
They say he was. Is that definitely true? I've heard lots of people say it.
Who knows?
Is it true?
That's the rumor.
Certainly had the money, and there was a phase of people doing that.
And there's a lot of underground. A lot of underground tunnels underneath Disneyland in Florida. I suppose you're probably aware
Service
of that.
tunnels.
A kind of funny thing I was reading there recently. You know all the people that are dressed up like, Marvel characters or Mickey Mouse and all that. You know, they're part-time actors.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Yeah.
They're not really the characters.
No, really?
No.
Oh God.
I know. I'm joking. I'm only joking.
Dreams shattered.
But I think that I don't know where I read this on a forum somewhere. It's kind of funny.
Must be true then.
But they would be they would be sharing the costumes.
Nice.
But they're not allowed to use their own underwear. They have to wear underwear that's provided from Disney.
Provided.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Can you think of a better way?
Provided would be the word I'd use, yeah.
Yeah. I think I said it correctly.
Provided.
It's me against the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah, okay. Is that your broad New York accent that's coming out there? You're provided.
Well, I'm international. I've been to New York.
Yeah, wow.
So they have to. They're given their underwear. They have to wear underwear.
Yeah.
From the company. Isn't that weird?
It is a bit strange.
You can't wear your own underpants.
It's weird.
And this particular person was just complaining about it, saying they were getting, mites and things.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What happens to this underwear when they've worn it? Do they have to wash it themselves?
No, I don't think they do. I think they hand it back to Disney, to the
and they wash those
the Disney washroom.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though, in like the likes of Disney Worldland, whatever, they're going to have tunnels underground. It's a great idea because you're not going to have people delivering burgers on the street when you've got tourists everywhere. You'd have an underground network to deliver your burgers and your, whatever.
I guess there's nothing too odd about it. You'd have a lot of staff going on.
Not like Denver Airport.
Oh, tell me more, Mark.
Denver Airport is a little bit unusual. You must know a little bit about that, sure.
I think I know about it. Is that where the Georgia Guidestones are?
No, they're in
Georgia
rather than Denver.
Wow. Okay.
Great revelation there. Everybody now knows where they
Geography, not my big point.
No? What about English?
Not great on that either.
No? Cognitive dissonance?
Yes. Yes.
I still don't know what that means. I just keep saying
Okay,
it.
Denver Airport, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's all that about then?
Denver Airport, right. If you were inclined to want to build a nice place to stay that was very safe, on the whole planet, then Denver would probably be one of the places top on your list. It's about as far inland as you can get from the eastern seaboard of the US. From the west, you have to go over the Rockies to get to it, and it's also very, very high, and it's surrounded by rock. So bear that in mind. Denver Airport, when they built it, they spent loads more money than they intended. They excavated millions and millions and millions of tons of rock from what was basically a reasonably flat site to build an airport on. Hence why they choose to build airports on them, because they're quite flat. So the question's been, of course, is where on earth all this rock came from. And the word on the street is that they've got big tunnels underneath it. And further to that, some people believe that there's a base underneath it, a big secret base. Okay. And it certainly would make sense, because there are large piles of rocks there. Jesse Ventura did a documentary about it.
He's fairly good.
Yeah, and he showed you. You could see all these rocks. They're still there. They moved so much earth that they couldn't possibly have hidden it. It's enormous.
All right.
So, yeah, it is strange that all this should be there.
It's Denver, Colorado.
Yeah. Exactly. You're getting better now, are you? You're starting to wake up a little bit.
Well, I'd happen to know that. That's where one of my all-time favourites was filmed, Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy, obviously, yeah.
Mork landed in Denver.
He did. Didn't he land in Boulder?
Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
Not what I said.
Nope.
Shall we move on?
And also in Denver Airport, there are some rather interesting murals. Not predicting. What's the word?
It's because we're live.
Yeah. I just can't remember the word. They're basically depicting. There's people with machine guns and gas masks on, and dead babies in coffins and weird stuff like that. Not the kind of friendly pictures that you would want to see in an airport before you got on board an airplane.
Excuse me, in the airport on the walls.
In the airport on the walls, yeah. And there's a big Masonic symbol there because the Masons had something to do with the construction or sponsoring or something. I'm not sure why it's there, to be honest, I can't remember anymore. But the murals are the weirdest thing.
And when were the murals painted onto the walls there?
Well, the airport itself's not that old, I don't think. I think it was only built in the 90s.
So shape of things to come, you could say, because back in the 90s, that wasn't how the world was.
Yeah, I mean, they look like sort of Nazis almost. They've got the big trench coats on and the gas masks.
Most American cops look like that now.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, these really do, though. 1940s Nazis.
That's weird. We need to get a few pictures of that up on
I'll find a video about it, and I'll put it on the website under videos.
We're at alternativefutureradio.com.
Shall we?
The Out There Hour.
With Basil and Mark. You can contact us via
Facebook.com/Out There Hour.
or YouTube.com/AFRadioYT.
Or email us on
helpdesk@alternativefutureradio.com.
Skype us on AFRguest. AlternativeFutureRadio.com.
Yay!
What a treat.
Yeah, what a treat that was.
So that's us.
Yeah.
That's who we are.
We are, yeah. And we're still live on Ustream if anybody wants to come and join in. We're easy.
It'll take some time for people to probably find
Well, we
us.
didn't push it. We didn't mention it
We
on the
didn't
last...
say it's a bit of a surprise.
We didn't oversell it.
Not only to the listeners, but probably more so to us.
More so to you, especially, because I didn't tell you until last night.
Okay. Hey,
yes.
If it's... Oh, well.
Go on.
Topics.
Go on.
I
What's
think
your topic?
I'll do this topic.
Give us your topic.
It's a bit rude and it's a bit silly, but...
Go on.
My daughter...
Yes. She's not rude and silly, surely.
Oh no, she's wonderful. She's choosing universities.
Are you sure you're related?
I hope so. She's choosing universities at the moment.
Yes.
And we went to have a look at one yesterday, and it was a lovely place.
You going to buy it?
Possibly, if I had the money, I would buy it.
Yeah.
But something occurred to me.
Yes.
Of course, a lot of the lecturers were on hand there to help with advice on
courses.
Yes, how about courses?
Courses, yes, usual, yeah. Go on.
But I'm not sure. This is a bit delicate. I don't know how to put this exactly.
Yeah.
But if you've ever lived in the country,
yeah,
and if you take your average very, 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 very stupid person.
Yes, I'm picturing them now.
Like, are you looking at me? Bobby De Niro.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very stupid people.
Yes.
Like a village idiot.
Yes.
And then the opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes.
I noticed in the university courses very, 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 very intelligent people.
Savants and the like.
No, not savants, but college lecturers and that kind of thing.
Yes.
But they look remarkably similar.
Yes.
So my point is that very, very, very stupid people and very, very, very intelligent people look very similar.
Yes, they can do, I suppose, yeah. Look at George Bush. He wore a nice suit.
He is an idiot, though.
But he was possibly one of the world's greatest idiots.
Yeah.
If there was a Hall of Fame of idiots, you'd be walking through his legs to get into the event.
Listen, that's not a conspiracy theory with him. He isn't.
No, he is actually a moron. Yeah.
Actually, it is a conspiracy theory because I'll tell you a funny thing about George Bush. What you need, people, is to get onto your YouTube.
Yes.
And you need to have a look at George Bush before he got elected.
Right.
And he was doing a questions and answers. I think when he was still a governor or something like that.
That should be painful.
No.
No?
He's as sharp as a pin.
Really?
It's so strange, Mark. He's so clever, so intelligent.
That's strange.
And so sharp.
How did he manage to basically ruin the oil company that his parents gave him then?
Well, I don't know, do I? But bad management. Bad management doesn't mean...
Every business he's ever run has failed.
Oh, I know that. But, no, he was a real sharp talker.
Yeah.
Before he got elected. And while he was he governor or something? Governor of Texas?
I think he was, yeah.
Yeah. And this thing now, when he became president, of stumbling over the words almost as badly as me...
Yeah.
It seemed to happen post-presidency.
Yeah.
So was it just more cocaine?
I've no idea what it could have been. I've no idea. They could have been feeding him anything. Who knows?
Another topic, Mark.
Go on, then. Have you got any more topics?
No.
Okay.
You've drained me.
I want to talk about your favourite Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean, we've got various top fives and things. You've done some of yours this week.
Well, when we're talking about Doctor Who...
but you can only pick one favourite Doctor Who.
But you see, there's a bit of an issue there, because there's the classic series and the new series.
Out of all of them, you can any Doctor Who you like.
Oh, that's a bit tricky.
Now you don't... Now, this is not your actual... This is the person who played Doctor Who, rather than the episodes, because the older ones were pretty poor production values, and the new ones are a better programme, but necessarily the Doctors aren't, as good as some of the older ones.
Well, to be fair with the old series, the classic series, when they do a DVD, re-release, and they clean it all up. It's like new TV.
Yeah, it is, but
it's really good.
They were crap at the time. The production values were rubbish. The sets were made of cardboard and things. They were low. It's a cheap program.
I know it was meant to. It's traditionally meant to be cheap. A cheap program.
Well, I think my best Doctor Who, actually, the person who played Doctor Who, would have to be Tom Baker.
Yeah, but that's pretty typical, because that's everybody.
Well, if he's the best, he's the best. But I think that the best Doctor Who program would probably have been one of the David Tennant ones. I think David. Christopher Eccleston was pretty good.
I thought he was great.
He was good because he's a proper actor.
I don't think it would have happened if it hadn't been for him. I don't
think
it
wouldn't have got off the ground if it wasn't for his name.
Would it?
No, but he knew that he didn't want to get typecast, so he bailed at the end of one season, didn't he?
There was something weird went on, and he had some falling out.
Well, no, I don't think it was weird. I think he just was smarter than they were.
Oh, I guess so.
He took the money for 6 or 12 episodes and legged it back to the stage where he does better.
That was just it,
He's a proper actor, he's not going to sit and do that kind of stuff.
Interesting piece of trivia about Christopher Eccleston. He can't drive.
He can't drive?
No.
What a schmuck.
He was only learning to drive last time I read an interview with him.
Yeah.
Or last time I had coffee with him. No,
I
won't say that.
Yeah. We could just pretend to name drop. Should we start pretending to know famous people?
Yeah.
That'd be fun, wouldn't it? People would tune in for that.
Shall we so you're just going to go through the entire series, so I'm going to have to pick a favourite just out of the whole lot.
Yeah, well, I think the favourite programme would be the David Tennant's area. But I think my favourite Doctor would probably be Tom Baker, just because he's as mental as a box of snakes.
Yeah, well, all of his programs weren't that good. He was a good Doctor.
He was a good Doctor. The programs were rubbish.
He had some poor stories.
Yeah. Oh, really. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why I judged the story separate to the Doctor. Yeah. He was the best Doctor, but the David Tennant, I think, got the best stories.
Well, I guess out of all of them that have been in the history of time, I'm going to go with the new guy. I'm going to go with
Matt Smith.
Matt Smith.
Seriously?
Seriously.
When they unveiled him, I thought, what on earth
terrible.
Is this?
So
terrible.
Awful.
And he is actually quite a good actor, much to my annoyance, because I said, I'll never watch Doctor Who again.
So did I.
And I thought he's going to be awful, and I thought I'll watch the first one just to slag him off all the way through.
Yeah.
I thought it was annoying. He's actually quite good.
Actually quite good.
Yeah. Yeah, he's actually quite a good actor.
Hey, that was a good one, but just for for the 99.9% of people in the world who aren't
in the real world,
complete nerds.
Yes.
And considering we're global at the moment...
Yeah, we are global.
Let's move on.
We're big in Kuwait.
Well, mind you, Doctor Who is pretty big in America.
He's bigger over there now.
Oh, bigger since the new series, is it?
I think so, yeah, since the new incarnation of it and the proper special effects and lack of cardboard ray guns.
I can't move on. I want to say one other thing. My favourite episode ever was Tom Baker, Genesis of the Daleks.
I don't remember it, but if it's got Tom Baker in, I agree.
It's really good. You should go back and watch that. It's
great.
I won't, no. Oh, you will.
I want to remember them as they were. Distant in my mind.
The Daleks?
No, everything about Doctor Who. Tom Baker and such like. If I watch it now, I'm going to go, God, the production values are rubbish in this. God, that line's crap. God, the acting's crap. I'll ruin it, you see. Whereas now I have a rose-coloured memory of Doctor Who and Tom Baker in the 80s, and I think it's great. So I don't want to ruin that. I'm not watching it anymore.
Fair enough, that's okay.
I want to talk about Kenneth Williams.
Yeah, why not?
Kenneth Williams is fantastic.
Kenneth Williams for people in the States or
Carry On Films is where you've seen him.
Carry On Films.
I imagine they made it to America. Carry On Films are pretty big.
I certainly hope so.
They were around from the late 50s even, was it? Or early 60s?
Late 50s into the 60s.
And they're still going. They still made one recently. They made Carry On Columbus, didn't they?
Did.
A couple of other recent ones.
In fact, one of the original actors, Jim Dale, was in it.
Yeah, he was, yeah. And Kenneth Williams, I saw his life story. I think it was part of that season you were talking about before, actually.
Yeah, The Curse of Comedy.
Yeah.
I was on BBC Two. Interesting.
Yeah, he was fantastic. And he was completely plagued by the fact that he was gay and couldn't live the life he wanted. He lived with his mum, I think, didn't he?
It's funny, he didn't live with his mum, but I think he had bought 2 apartments, and he lived in one, and across the hall was his mum, which is kind of lovely.
Yeah, yeah. But he was a complete comedy genius.
Yeah.
He just wrote everything that was funny, basically, from that era. He was just fantastic.
Would I be right in saying, because a lot of the comedians of that period, would he have been, he would have been National Service?
I assume so, yeah.
Most of them were.
Harry Seacombe and the Goons.
They seek him here, they seek him there.
Yeah.
Bob Monkhouse, Frankie Howard, Spike Milligan.
Spike Milligan.
I think Spike Milligan actually saw action.
I think he might have. I don't know.
I think he did.
He's still alive. Should we get him on?
No, he's dead.
Oh, no, he's not, is he?
Yeah, Spike Milligan is dead, and on his grave... on his gravestone, he's got written, "I told you I was sick."
That's typical. Spike Milligan was great. He lived in Yorkshire up on the moors somewhere on his own.
Really?
Yeah. He was a complete extrovert. Not extrovert.
Manic depressive.
Introvert almost.
Manic depressive.
He even got committed one time.
Yeah.
He acted so crazy in The Goons, and what was the other one he did?
Well, he had his own show, Spike Milligan, whatever it was.
But he just acted so crazy, they ended up committing him at one stage.
Well, I think he was a bit crazy.
He was a little bit.
According to his personal assistant and secretary, he had very, very black moods and he could become very violent.
Same for a lot of comedians, though. A lot of comedians are very bipolar. Like, what's his name, Stephen Fry? He's manic depressive.
Yeah, I sent you a program about him, The Secret Life of
I've seen it already.
Manic Depressive. What do you think of that?
I'd already seen it. No, it was quite good.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, it was saying, I remember it from when it was on years ago, and he was saying he'd be really, really down, and then he'd go completely high, and then go out and buy 7 iPhones.
That's right, I was looking at that.
Weird stuff like that.
Yeah.
He said, they asked him how many iPods he'd got, and he'd got dozens of them.
Yeah, any new thing that comes on the market, he had to go and buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
and that's part of the manic behaviour.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was then when he was in boarding school, he got into this thing of doing another part of it is doing like criminal acts, like stealing stuff. And,
yeah, that's common as well.
Yeah,
a lot of people do that in fame and fortune circles.
And then he nipped over there to America, and he was just looking at these kids, you know, who at a very, very, very young age were put on Ritalin and this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm really in agreement with that, Mark.
I think the figures for the kids on Ritalin in America are quite staggering, actually. I'm not sure how high it is, but it's high. It's like 30 or 50% or something crazy like that.
I'm just waving at the camera. Hi, you can talk to us. You want to say hello to us?
No.
Oh, no, well. Too boring?
No, too boring.
No viewers yet. Ever.
And they'll never come.
Okay.
Well, maybe next time.
Yeah, that's some interesting stuff you landed on me.
Oh, yeah.
It warrants more investigation, I think.
We shall investigate it more when I've remembered what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me see. What else have I got now? Have you got any more topics?
No, I think I did the thing about the very, 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 very intelligent and very, 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 very stupid.
Yes, you did that.
Looking similar.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
We were knocking around this idea recently about asking people what their favourite Star Trek episode was.
Now, I've got that on my list, actually. It's right here.
But I've been, I think I've shied off of that a little bit from my experience in the university yesterday.
Really?
Because there was what I can only describe as what, if he didn't watch Star Trek, he should start, because it was one of those blokes.
There wasn't an anti-Star Trek sentiment, was there?
No. He was one of these blokes. He was
that won't be standard.
A mature student.
Yes.
Glasses, tracksuit bottoms, cardigan, man boobs.
Tracksuit bottom and cardigan.
Man boobs.
Oh God.
And I thought, shall I ask him what his favourite Star Trek episode is?
He'll just think you're taking the mick.
And then I thought, no,
he'll know.
I may never get home again if I ask him anything about Star Trek.
Oh God! And did he smell?
I don't know. I didn't get near enough. Okay.
Oh dear! Good grief!
We'll lose the topics.
Yeah. I've got one. I've got one thing I do want to do. I've got a video to play today.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. I like this.
This is a fantastic piece of work.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh yeah. This. No, I better give a bit of preamble.
Yeah.
If you're in America, you won't have heard of this, but there was a children's TV program on.
Kind of like Barney in a way.
Yeah, it was very sort of like that. Now, the cast for this program, it was a program called Rainbow, and it wasn't a one-off.
It's one of my favourites.
This is not a fake. This is a real cast. It's not manipulated, and it's about 3 minutes. I'm going to play the whole thing because it's so funny. There was a house, and in it lived a man called what was his name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey was the main man.
A man called Jeffrey, an actual man.
Yeah. Then there was a bear called Bungle the bear. There was Zippy,
who
was
dubious sexuality on Bungle.
Bungle was a little bit camp. Now there was Zippy, who was basically a weird creature that he invented with a zip for a
zip
mouth.
mouth, yeah.
Who they could zip him up
And then
occasionally.
there was George.
Then there was George, who was a hippo.
Yeah, can you do any of them, by the way?
Zippy is
And
talking
I'm
like that.
George.
Yes,
I'm
that's
very shy.
Zippy's voice, yes.
Okay, God.
George was, I don't know. He sounded a bit like Frank Spencer, didn't he?
Yeah.
So anyway, we've got George there. And then there were 3 callers who would come to the house every now and again, do a bit of a musical number called Rod, Jane and Freddie.
Jane and Freddie. I fancied Jane, by the way.
Jane was pretty good. Yeah, she's pretty hot. She's probably in her late 60s now, but,
Or,
you know.
Late 1860s.
So anyway, it was it wasn't a particularly unusual show at the time, but this clip is very unusual.
Okay.
I'm going to play this clip.
Let's
and,
go.
just wow. You probably should go and get a tissue before you listen to this, because it's so funny. You're going to cry milk or something. Have a listen to this.
Tissue?
One skin, 2 skin,
They're counting banana skins.
3 skin, 4. Zippy, where's Bungle? Oh, I think Jeffrey's trying to get him up.
I can't get it in, Jeffrey.
Well, you managed it last night, Bungle.
Yes, I know. Well, let's try it the other way around. Oh, Jeffrey, have you dropped one? I've got it in.
Hello, Bungle.
Hello, Zippy. Hello, George. Oh, hello. We're going to talk about playing today.
Playing with each other, Jeffrey?
Yes, Bungle. Tell me, have you got a special friend that you like to play with?
Jeffrey, yesterday we played with our balls, didn't we? Are we going to play with our friends' balls today?
Yes, and we could play with our twangers as well.
Have you seen Bungle's twanger?
Oh, I have, yeah. I showed him how to pluck with it, yeah.
Yes, it's my plucking instrument.
Can you pluck like Bungle?
Yeah, I can. I'm the best plucker here.
Let's get back to Bungle's twanger.
Oh, Jeffrey, we could all paint our twangers, couldn't we?
Well, not now, Bungle. It's nearly time for us all to go.
Oh, well, I've just been.
I've just been.
I know. Let's sing that plucking song again.
Oh, yes, and then Rod and Roger could get their instruments out. And Jane's got 2 lovely maracas.
Oh, what a smashing idea.
Jane, Rod, Roger.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Fun. We could hear you all banging away. Banging can be fun.
Yes, and I was banging away all last night with Rod and Roger.
Yes, but it broke my plucking instrument. Oh, well, never mind, Roger. Look, we're all going to sing the plucking song. So come on, everybody, get your instruments out. Do you want to blow my pipe while I'm twanging away?
Oh, no, Rod. I was blowing a lot with Roger last night. But would you like to play my maracas?
No, let's just pluck away with our twangers, yeah.
Yes, it doesn't matter what size your twanger is.
I've got a big red one. No, I've only got a tiny twanger, but it works well. I like to play with it.
Well, have you got your twangers out?
Yes.
And remember, you can bounce your balls at the same time if you like. Or if you haven't got any balls, you can ask a friend if you can play with his. Right, come on then, let's all sing a plucking song.
Right, are we all ready? 1, 2, 3, pluck.
Pluck, pluck, pluck away, we're going to pluck all day today. Pluck, pluck, pluck away, we're going to pluck all day.
It's time for us all to go now, but don't forget to get your twangers out and play with your balls. We'll see you soon. Bye.
What the hell?
That is classic.
What the hell was all that about?
Wasn't that just classic? It was fantastic.
What happened there?
Oh dear, that was strange.
That actually, a funny thing that you brought that clip up. I wasn't aware that you were going to play that particular one.
I held it back from you.
But we were just talking about Doctor Who and classic Doctor Who, and did you know that the voice of Zippy was also the voice of the Daleks?
Was it really?
Roy Skelton.
What a coincidence.
Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Are you serious? You're pulling my
No,
leg.
I didn't.
You know everything. You telling me you didn't know that?
Well, maybe I did. No, I didn't know. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
no, that's new on me.
Yeah, the
Zippy was
I mean, the voice of the
Doctor Who.
No,
was
Zippy
the Daleks.
Zippy was a Dalek.
That's quite funny.
Same guy. He's dead now. He only died a couple of years ago.
Who was Davros?
He was played by 3 or 4 different actors.
Oh, was he? Yeah.
That was very good.
I like that.
I think after that, I think we'll move on to the mystery voice.
Shall we?
It's our new competition here on alternativefutureradio.com.
Oh, dear.
Prizes available.
Prizes?
Maybe.
Seriously?
Well, see if you can guess who it is. Leave a comment there on YouTube or at the... Where else can they leave a comment?
Oh, you can tweet us.
Tweets.
Facebook? Facebook's good.
Facebook's a good place. Join us at Facebook.
Yeah, we check everything continuously. We're ever alert.
Every day on the Out There Hour.
Yeah,
on Facebook or alternativefutureradio.com, the website.
That's us. We're everywhere.
So here we go.
I'm just going to download it. Bear with me.
Okay, I'm bearing with you.
Yes, bear with me. You wanted to talk about... Well, I'm just waiting for this to download.
Yeah.
You mentioned Lassie last week.
That's a separate subject. I don't want to give anything away.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to give anything away. But it's our new competition here on Alternative Future Radio.
Guess the voice.
Guess the mystery
How
voice.
original. I'll see if it's on there. Hang on.
You are going to help me.
Oh.
With what? With the...
Oh, that's it. That's all you're getting. With what?
I'll play it again.
No. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hang on then.
Well, will you talk to Eastwood about...
Oh, there you go. That's enough.
Who's that?
Who is that? Will you talk to Eastwood, it says. Who is it?
Who is it? You
Let
tell
us
us.
know. You tell us.
You tell us. Leave a comment on the YouTube
We'll
channel.
dedicate some awful instrumental music to you if you like.
Okay.
Or, if you win first prize, we'll not dedicate some awful instrumental music to you.
I wonder, Mark,
Yes.
what interesting historical things happened on this day?
Segue nicely.
Thank you.
Well, there are quite a few, actually.
On this day in
we
history.
have to say happy birthday, first of all,
Uh-huh.
to George Takei, everybody. It's George Takei's birthday today.
George Takei Day.
It's George Takei Day. It's definitely not Adolf Hitler Day because he is also born today.
Born today.
Yeah, if he was still alive, he would be 123.
Seriously.
Yeah. George Takei, believe it or not, is 75 today.
Wow,
75.
he's getting on.
He's not doing bad.
And he's very fit for a man of his age, isn't he?
Yeah. And have you seen the guy he's married to?
No.
I think he might be a little bit younger than him.
The guy.
Yeah.
Is he... It's irrelevant. I don't know why I'm asking this. Is he Chinese or white or...
Oh, God, no. It's ages since I've seen him. I think he might be white, actually. I think it is, yeah.
Okay, a bit of variety for
Yeah.
Sulu.
Oh, it's George Takei. You know, he's up for anything.
I'd never have guessed he was gay when he was in Star Trek.
Seriously.
Seriously?
God, I thought the whole cast was gay.
Yeah,
I thought Star Trek was gay.
Come to think of it. Yeah. You're right.
I mean,
I think
they were all wearing tight trousers.
I think it's a surprise that they weren't all gay.
Yeah, I'm surprised that so few of them are. Incidentally, and I follow George Takei on Twitter. And sometimes in person when I'm in San Francisco.
He's on Facebook as well.
He is, yeah. He was saying the other day that the second person of the Star Trek fraternity, the people who've been on Star Trek, came out as being gay the other day, and it was the guy who played Spock in the new one. I can't remember his name.
Oh, in the very
new
film.
Star Trek one, with the new cast.
He's also gay.
He's also gay, apparently.
Oh, great.
So there are two of them now.
Nice.
So I suspect there are probably more. Who do you think is gay in Star Trek?
I thought Kirk was gay, to be honest.
I thought
with you.
Kirk was pretty gay. I don't know. He had a little gay
our Bill Shatner, Shatner is not gay.
No, he's not.
But he did seem it.
He did seem a little bit on the effeminate side.
Who else?
I'm not sure.
All of them.
Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else happened on this day in history?
Oh, God.
Adolf Hitler was born, George Takei.
Yeah. In 1999, it was the Columbine massacre.
Oh, right.
12 people killed there.
Yeah. See, that's tying in again to what we were saying. I'm just wondering, is there a connection between putting kids on Ritalin very, very young? Ritalin, which is like a mind-expanding drug if you take enough of it.
Is it? I thought it just numbed your brain cells and slowed you down.
Every drug like Xanax or anything like that are meant to calm you down can have the opposite effect when taken for too long. Or if you take too many, because I've had a box of Xanax in my hand, and I read the side effects that can come from it.
Yeah, but it says all those crazy side effects on the side of everything. I mean, it says on the side of paracetamol may cause sudden death and crazy stuff like that.
Depending on your genetics and your makeup, it could have an effect on you in that way.
Yeah. I don't think the masses generally would experience that.
Columbine tragedy.
Yes.
Colorado as well. We were just talking about Colorado.
Is Columbine in Colorado?
No.
Moving on.
Mork and Mindy is, sorry.
Yes, at least in the right state, anyway, yeah. Benny Hill, he died in 1992.
Benny Hill was very sad.
We mentioned Kenneth Williams earlier, and you were saying about you.
Yeah. Benny Hill had this apartment near the.
Also gay. Did you know that?
No, he wasn't.
Benny Hill was gay.
He wasn't gay.
Are you sure?
Come on.
Right, I'm gonna Google it. You keep talking.
I read his autobiography, and
Right.
he certainly wasn't gay.
I'm not sure about that.
He liked women.
Yeah.
He used to go on holidays with them.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything with them.
Yeah.
But he didn't do anything with any men either.
Yeah, I assume that. Yeah, I mean there are people who fall into that.
He was
category?
He was a complete bachelor.
Yes.
He had his little flat or his little apartment, and something interesting about Benny Hill, he had 2 televisions, and he used to watch them both simultaneously.
Yeah.
And he used to have a notepad beside him, and he used to take notes and write jokes based on the things that he was watching on the TV.
Yeah.
But when he did die, eventually, I think he was there for several days before he was discovered.
Yeah. I know.
Just
Pretty
sitting,
lonely old
just
existence.
sitting on lonely old existence. All that money.
Yeah.
But he came from a very, very, very poor background.
Did he? I don't know much about him.
Not well, fairly poor, but they were very tight with money, the parents and everything. And he sort of, sorry.
Yeah.
He never fell out of that. He was always careful with money. He never realised how much money he had. Like a lot of those old-time entertainers, you know, they never quite appreciated how rich they were.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he had quite a lot of money. Yeah, apparently, contrary to widespread rumours, Benny Hill was not gay.
So I was right.
Widespread rumours, though.
He was just one of those weird guys who just didn't do anything with attractive ladies.
Yeah.
He just used to like talking
I
to
knew
them.
that he would hang around with, sort of bimbos and things.
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
And, I mean, all those scenes on the Benny Hill show where he was running around being chased by them and stuff.
Yeah.
Weird.
But back in the 70s, I watched a few of his older shows. He was funnier when he started. And then when it got into the 80s, it just got into that kind of terrible Benny Hill hour.
Yeah.
And it was just bad. It was just
I never liked anything he did, to be honest. I couldn't stand Benny Hill. Good grief.
It was a bit sexist.
Yeah. Oh, a little bit. God.
Yeah, I know.
Just a little bit.
Even I could see it.
Yeah. Oh, now here's a good one. 1972. The Apollo 16 lander lands on the moon, having suffered an engine failure, apparently, but it did actually land, contrary to what Andrew Johnson said.
Andrew Johnson, who we spoke to
earlier,
recently.
Yes. Oh, God, what day is this going out? Yeah, earlier.
Okay.
Yes, so, yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Enoch Powell outlined his plans for racial integration.
If racial integration happened, the streets would run red with blood. He said it wouldn't work. It was a social experiment that wouldn't work in London. You couldn't have all these people from different nationalities living in one space, getting on together.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's what he said.
But he was a complete mentalist.
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you know anything else about him?
Only that he... I mean, I can understand how he would come to some of his conclusions, because, I mean, multiculturalism just doesn't seem to be working very well.
You see this guy here, the Prime Minister of Canada?
Yeah.
Can you pronounce that? Pierre?
Pierre Trudeau.
I do believe that Mick Jagger had an affair with his wife.
Really?
Yeah.
Ah.
And they were pretty bohemian.
Really?
Because also when John Lennon had the bed in there in Canada, I think he dropped in to see him.
Oh.
I could be completely wrong about that.
Let's just go with it.
It sounds good to me.
Pretend it's true.
But the thing about Jagger having it off with his wife, that is quite true.
It's probably true.
Probably.
I've never thought that Mick Jagger was gay. So,
That's interesting. Oh, I thought he was some kind of a bisexual.
Did I hear that somewhere, or am I just inventing history in my mind?
No, David Bowie. I mean, they went
David Bowie, maybe, yeah. I don't know. David Bowie, I'd be a little bit more. I don't know. I think he might be.
How does he look so good for his age, David Bowie?
Lots and lots and lots of plastic surgery.
Absolutely. and no stress, because he's got loads of money. He's not like the rest of us.
Exactly, yeah. He's probably sat at home, stoned out of his head all day. Yeah, I think that's probably enough from on this day. I don't think there's anything else there. Oh, there's this one here. 1871, Congress authorized President Ulysses S. Grant to declare martial law, impose heavy penalties against terrorist organizations, and use military force against the Ku Klux Klan.
Wow.
What a progressive bunch of people the Ku Klux Klan are.
But if he had to use military forces to suppress the Ku Klux Klan,
how big were they?
They must have been huge.
Yeah. Wow.
Did you ever see that film, that old one of the first films ever made? It was about the Ku Klux Klan. Birth of a Nation.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've seen
There's
it.
about
don't think I've seen
there's
it.
about 1,000 of them on horseback
Wow, blimey.
in their white robes.
Speaking of the Ku Klux Klan and how ridiculous they are, have you seen Blazing Saddles?
No, not in a long time.
Oh, no, you've got to see Blazing Saddles. I mean, we played a little bit of Springtime for Hitler from Mel Brooks the other week. And Ku Klux Klan, well, they're not in. Well, they're briefly in Blazing Saddles, but I do quite like that film.
There was a movie that I had on Betamax tape. Do you know what a Betamax tape is?
Yes, I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, at the birth of home video, there was you could either get VHS video or a Betamax video.
Or Video 2000.
And VHS 1. Of course, we had a Betamax.
We also had a Betamax.
No
we thought
way.
we were being progressive.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And they totally died.
Yep, I know.
But there was a movie on it I had that you rarely see. It was called Skin Game. It was with James Garner and Lou Gossett Jr.
I don't know who the second one is. I like James Garner. He's quite good.
Yeah, well, you know Lou Gossett if you've seen him because he's
Yeah.
in a lot of films. He's a very famous guy.
Yes.
But Lou Gossett is black, I should mention.
Right.
This might make sense. But they were going around, and James Garner was selling him
Yeah.
as a slave, and then going going
Breaking
back,
him out.
then breaking him
Oh,
out,
that old chestnut.
and they went all around America doing that, and it was I love that film, but it all went belly up in the end, and they got into trouble. But you know,
Oh, we've got one more birthday to mention.
Carmen Electra.
Carmen Electra's birthday today.
Yeah.
She's 40.
No, I hardly know who she is. Is she 40? She's my age.
40, yeah. She's 40.
Good recall.
Yeah, maybe you should try and add her on Skype.
Yeah.
That usually works.
And a lot of people are a big fan of Luther Vandross.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Luther Vandross.
He's actually dead as well, I think, as well as having a birthday today.
Yeah, maybe he is.
I think he did.
Yeah. Can you work out his age from that?
1951.
No, 61.
I think he's dead.
I think he's dead as well. I think you're right. Let's focus more on George Takei. He's more interesting. Anyway, moving on swiftly. Actually, no, there is a little bit more. We've got a little bit more. Hang on. No, there's not really a great deal else.
Let's see if there's anybody talking to us on Ustream.
Oh, yeah. We better check the chat room there. That'll be a big no. That'll be a big negative.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
That's great.
That saved us a bother.
Okay.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yes. Have you got anything else that you want to talk about? I've done my Rainbow Twanger. I wanted to mention, I wasn't going to play it on air because it's not really that evident. I wanted to talk about Captain Pugwash.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Captain Pugwash?
Kind of.
Another 1980s children's TV show. I got spurred on to look for these after last week's top fives. I think.
Last week.
Yeah. Captain Pugwash. How on earth it got aired, I do not know. I urge anybody out there who's not heard of Captain Pugwash, especially if you're in America, you'll be in hysterics listening to this. A program got aired, I think it was on the BBC, called Captain Pugwash, children's program, cartoon, really crappy cartoon, the kind where they all move in one go rather than actual animated.
That bad animation.
Yeah, like a paper cutout. And the program itself was fairly normal. It had usual children's stuff, somebody falls down a cliff and gets rescued, that kind of thing, the usual children's stuff. What was weird about it was the names. Can you remember any of the names of the characters in it? Well, there was Captain Pugwash, who was in charge of the ship. They were like a piratey bunch type thing. The person who was second in command was called Master Bates.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And
how did they get away with that?
It gets worse. There was also Seaman Staines. There was. The cabin boy also had a funny name as well. Let me Google it.
Go on, yeah.
I think the cabin boy was called something crazy.
This is excellent.
Oh, yeah, you've got to... why did they do it, though?
Master Bates.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
Master Bates and Seaman Staines.
Seaman Staines, oh, come on.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. Here we are. I'm looking on Wikipedia, see if I can
And this
find...
was actually broadcast.
It was on for years. It wasn't even a short run or anything. Let's see if I can find it here. Here we are. It's on Wikipedia. But you can actually listen to them on the episodes talking about this. Let me see Staines. Let me see.
Running from the 70s by the look of it. So
here we are. Double entendres. We've got Roger the cabin boy. There we are. Yeah, Roger.
Oh, Roger the cabin boy. It took
boy.
me a while to get.
Yeah,
oh my God, I'm so slow.
Yeah. Master Bates, Seaman Staines.
By the way, just for our American audience, Roger could mean
sex.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah, Captain Pugwash's characters. Let me see. Captain's name. Apparently, the captain's name is Australian slang for oral sex.
What?
Pugwash.
Pugwash.
I
Wow.
didn't know that's a new one on me.
Typically Australian.
John Ryan successfully sued both the Sunday Correspondent and the Guardian newspapers in 1991 for printing this legend as fact.
Ah.
That's strange. But yeah, we masturbate, semen stains, Roger the Cabin Boy.
Look at some of the episode names. I'm looking at one here. Sticky Moments.
Sticky Moments, yeah. Muddling Monsters. The Mega Mango Monkeys. Devil's Dog.
Chest of Drawers, which
Fat Cat, yeah.
Hot chocolate.
The Titanic Teapot. The New Cabin Boy.
I wouldn't like to be a new cabin boy on that ship.
Peppercorn Pistols.
Okay.
Oh, this is the 1997 series.
Which you'll find will be very watered down.
These are the original ones. 1974 to 75 it was. Stung, The Golden Trail, Diamonds on Ice, Riddle of the Rubies. They're all fairly normal, really, to be honest.
They're all...
Caught in the Act sounds a little bit
They're all
lewd.
normal compared to the characters' names.
Compared to Masturbates and Semen
How
Stains.
the hell did they get away with that?
How did they get that past the censors? More than once.
Semen
Stains. That's what name of the one of the characters is called. Semen Stains.
He must be joking.
I wonder if he was able Semen Stains, because that'd be even more funny.
Talking about kids' programs again. I mean, I know that the pressure's been on me since the last episode of the Out There Hour on turntofutureradio.com to do my review of the bicycle. Can you get it up there? A little information.
Oh, the bicycle episode. Yeah.
The bicycle episode of.
What do you want on the video?
Yeah, just the video and some general information on it. I'm just trying to get the bicycle owner's name, basically, so I can...
oh, yes.
I can't think of his name. Mr. Horton.
Mr. Horton, yeah.
Is it worth doing the review of part 2, or shall I just drop it?
I think you should complete your review.
Because there might be somebody out there mad enough.
You should stick with it to completion.
Mad enough to actually want
to
know what happened in the end.
Yes, you need to complete the story.
Well, just to summarise, I mean...
maybe you should refresh people on the first half.
I'm summarising on the first half. Basically, Arnold and his little friend Dudley get befriended by a bicycle store owner called Mr. Horton.
Yeah.
And during the course of the episode, he entices them into his apartment, and he gives them some pizza and whatever, and a drop of wine. And amongst some comics on the counter is some pornographic magazines, which the boys find very exciting and unusual. And then he goes on to show them some Polaroids of himself and some young friends nude, skinny dipping.
Nice.
And the episode ends where they're interrupted when Mr. Drummond comes into the bicycle shop to pay for a bicycle.
Oh, that's good. Good timing. Now, tell us. And hang on. Previously on Different Strokes. Hang on. Now. And now the conclusion of Different Strokes.
Excellent.
There you go.
So, after all that wholesomeness,
go on, keep digging.
The boys had escaped anyway.
Yes.
While Mr. Drummond was out the front with Mr. Horton, the bicycle shop owner.
Comparing notes.
They decided to leg it. They decided to leg it. So it loses momentum in part 2, I'm afraid to say.
Oh, what?
They dropped the ball.
They peaked too soon.
They spread themselves too thin.
Yeah.
So Arnold goes home to the apartment there in where is it? Fifth Avenue,
somewhere in New York.
And Kimberly and Willis are there, and they smell wine off of his breath.
Yeah.
And they say, "Where'd you get the wine from, Arnold?"
Yeah.
And he says he got it from Dudley's dad, which is a complete lie.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they brush it over anyway, and the kids decide they won't tell Mr. Drummond about Arnold's drink problem.
Yeah. How'd that work out for him?
Yeah, not good. So the two boys decide they had so much fun with Mr. Horton, the bicycle man.
Yes.
So they go back for another dose.
Another dose, right? Okay,
Another dose of frolics and fun. And Horton's really...
does he lay it on thick?
Really lays it on thick this time. Oh, wow.
I am amazed this got aired. Able Seaman Stains is bad, but still.
This is, yeah. And so he gives them a big slice of pie. And, this is the next thing he does. He puts on a video, it must have been a video at the time, of some cartoons.
Yes.
Cartoons,
yes. What was it, Jungle Book or whatever it was called?
I only wish it was that. No, it's something you probably haven't come across.
Yeah.
Adult cartoons.
Adult cartoons.
And the first thing that Arnold notices is that the mouse character has no trousers on.
Yeah.
And
I've not seen many mice wearing trousers, in fairness.
No, but this cartoon mice do. He's got no trousers on, and there's something hanging out between his legs.
Oh, right, yes.
And the female mouse is also nude.
Anatomically correct.
Anatomically completely correct.
Yes.
Now, Dudley enjoys this with Mr. Horton, but Arnold starts smelling a rat, thanks be to God.
Ah, even though it's a mouse.
Even though it's a mouse, because it's a pornographic cartoon.
Yeah, it may smell like a rat.
I'm getting uncomfortable again.
Yeah, go on. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
I love doing this.
I'm going to do it as fast as possible. Arnold says, I don't like this. Who'd you talking about, Willis? I'm getting out of here. I don't like it. But I'm bringing my cake with me.
What?
He's bringing his cake with him, he says. He was given a slice of cake.
Yeah.
Is anybody on there?
No, thank God.
But Dudley, the poor child, Dudley hasn't the sense. Dudley hasn't the sense to go. So Mr. Horton says, don't worry, Dudley. Let Arnold go. You and me can have some fun together.
Nice.
Let's continue watching our pornographic cartoon. Poor Dudley.
Starring a mouse.
And later on, he says, we can play Neptune. What's Neptune? What's Neptune, Dudley says.
Yes.
Just a shower and a bath and playing around in the water.
Oh. Why did they make that into 2 episodes? One's too many.
Oh, so
creepy.
I'm going to cut to the chase here.
No, go on.
No.
I just like watching you squirming, trying to get the words out.
Oh gosh! I guess he probably gave Dudley more wine, but we cut to
Dudley Moore. Was he involved?
No. Oh, come on!
Take my wife, please.
That's bad timing.
That's comic timing.
I'm in the middle of something. I am in the middle of something.
Go on.
Arnold rushes home.
Yep.
And at the same time, coincidentally, this is going to be a bit confusing. Dudley's father also arrives and says, "Hey, Mr. Drummond, why did you?" Dudley said you gave him wine to drink.
Oh.
And Mr. Drummond says, "No, I would never do that.
Mm-hmm.
I would never do that." And
yes,
I've lost the thread.
I assume maybe did the children say that they said that he'd given them the wine?
Yeah,
maybe?
The 2 boys were saying that each other's fathers are giving them wine. So then Arnold was there.
Was the truth outed at that point?
The truth was outed. That's great, Mark. Thanks for the help. The truth was outed.
Yes.
And Arnold says, well, I'm sorry, Dad. I did drink some wine, but we got it from nice Mr. Horton.
Yeah.
And Dudley's back at his house now.
Yeah.
Having some wine and watching some videos.
I may have seen this. Now they run there and to save him, don't they?
And they run Mr. Drummond.
I did say it.
Mr. Drummond, I tell you,
I have seen
Mr.
it.
Drummond's action-packed.
He is.
Does
he smack him?
No.
No?
No. So yeah, they all rush there.
He's not that action-packed, then.
And they with some cops.
Right. Oh, lovely.
And they get straight to the bicycle shop, kick in the door.
Yep.
And Mr. Horton, the paedophile, he says, "What's wrong? There's nothing going on here." And they cuff him.
Yep.
And then they find Dudley.
Yes.
In the bathroom.
Yes.
With his shirt off, because this happens a lot.
Yeah, he's always got his shirt off, Dudley, isn't he?
But luckily enough, he hadn't. Nothing had happened. He was just being sick.
He'd not experienced.
He was just being sick from the wine. So Mr. Horton didn't get him. Okay, everybody. Mr. Horton didn't get him.
Right.
Everybody was saved just in the nick of time.
Right.
Now it's a funny thing you're saying to me there, Mark. It's a funny thing you're saying. You're saying now that you remember the episode.
I remember that final scene. Yeah, it just came back to me. I remember him running down
I spoke to a young lady, not a young lady, but a lady yesterday.
Yes.
Very nice lady. And she said that she also remembers that episode of Different Strokes, but she had forgotten what happened in it, only the last minute.
How odd. That's all I remember.
And I think that's all I remember. Could this be that we all blocked it out because of the horrificness of the episode, the horror?
Yeah, it could be.
That the only thing we remember is the raincoats, the police and Mr. Drummond at the end, and the rest was just a bad, we just couldn't cope with it.
Just blocked it out.
Our 10-year-old minds just couldn't cope.
They melted our minds.
I feel sick. Can we play some music or something? I just want to be sick.
We've only got 5 minutes, I suppose, left.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we're nearly there. We've nearly come to the completion.
Can I just say hello to a few people?
Yeah, go on. You've got hellos to say, haven't you?
I just want to say hello to somebody who comments on our videos on YouTube called
Say hello.
Jupiter Returns. How are you?
Hello, Jupiter Returns.
Good to hear from you. And some listeners. Lovely Tally Moon in United Kingdom. Judy Kirkham Beville in America.
Yeah.
The lovely Eva O'Brien.
Oh, yeah.
John O'Brien, Wayne Hurst, Gemma Phelan, of course, Rose McNeely, And that's it. That's it
Well,
for
that's it for
I'm,
your,
I'm,
for
I'm
your
rushing.
shout-outs, is
I'm
it?
rushing because I wanted to do the. I can't do it.
Oh, no, you've got some time. We're good.
Have we got time for
We've
the top
got-
10?
Oh, go on, do them. I've got one written down. I was going to do that next. Go on.
Which is your top 10?
I didn't actually bother writing any out because I peaked last week.
You peaked too soon.
I did, yeah. I did them when I said I was going to do them.
Can we get
unlike you did a week later.
Can we get the Ustream up there? Because I want to see if there's anybody. I want to see if there's anybody there.
No.
Great, fantastic,
Lovely.
Well,
that was worthwhile.
well, you've got a choice. You can do the top 5 fantasy sci-fi of the 1970s.
Do that one because I haven't really got much to say on that subject. I think they're all rubbish.
Oh damn it! I've blown it again because I got. Oh no, I think it was 79.
Go
I'm
on.
going to say it was 79.
Go on, I'll let you away with it. Go on.
So I guess starting with number 5, maybe not the best,
Yes.
but possibly the funniest.
Yeah.
Manimal.
Oh, that wasn't 70s. That was 80s.
Okay, well, shut up. Nobody
It was
knows-
on the list of 80s
nobody
programs
knows-
that I was looking at last week.
Nobody knows that. Wait, 79. It was actually made in 79. It was broadcast in 1980.
80s. 80s.
What do you think of Manimal? And why did it only run for one season?
Because it was crap. All I can remember is his hand going do.
It was
and then he
brilliant.
turned into a puma.
He could turn into a puma
Or a bird,
or
I
he
think.
could turn into an eagle,
Wow.
or
Handy.
he could turn into a snake or a mouse.
A mouse, lovely. Yeah.
But the extraordinary
Manimal.
thing was, it's not that he changed into these animals. It's when he
He was,
changed.
he was a crime fighter as well, wasn't he?
He was a crime fighter. It was when he changed back. He was back in his dinner suit.
Yeah, that's strange.
How did that
A
happen?
crime fighting puma. Maybe we should get Paul Westwood on.
But I'm saying,
from Big
yeah,
Cats.
let's get Paul Westwood
As-
from Big. We never asked
We
him about
solved
Manimal.
it. We know
That's
we know
what
why
it is.
we know
It's
why they've
Manimal.
never got any footage of big cats in England because they all turn back into people wearing dinner jackets.
You'll start them off now. They'll actually, you'll
Yeah.
start off a
It's
bit.
Manimal.
Yeah, well, he always had his clothes on when he changed back
Bit
from an
like
animal.
Superman. Superman's clothes reappeared when he took his leotard off.
No, he wore his leotard under his suit.
Yeah, but where did his suit go when he flew back again? Did you pick him back up again and put it back on?
I used to just store it somewhere, like on a building. He could fly. I mean, he could put it anywhere.
Yeah, obviously.
Number 5,
Number
Manimal.
5, yeah.
Top sci-fi fantasy of 1970s, and it's already blown, isn't it?
1980s. Go on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me see. Here's one. Man from Atlantis.
Oh no!
Wow, that was brilliant.
Who was in that? Was it a Baldwin?
It wasn't.
No,
I tell you who was in that. It's really interesting. Patrick Duffy,
That was it.
Bobby from Dallas.
Dallas. That was it.
Bobby
yeah.
Ewing.
I thought he was a Baldwin. Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no. Bobby Ewing.
Patrick Duffy, that was
from
it, yeah.
Patrick Duffy. And
Yeah, I've got a T-shirt with Bobby Ewing on it.
did you know that Patrick Duffy's parents were massacred
No.
in a murder a couple of years ago?
Oh, vague recollection.
Just broken
of
it
that.
and brutally.
Yeah.
brutally murdered.
Randomly.
I think randomly. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course randomly.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
Patrick Duffy isn't such a nice guy.
Is he?
Oh yeah.
I don't know him. I've only met him a few times, so I don't really know him that
Yeah,
well.
well, I know him a bit better
Yeah,
than
yeah,
you, obviously.
yeah.
Man from Atlantis, then.
Yeah, go on.
Do you remember that?
I remember
Wasn't it good?
It was alright.
Oh, it's great.
Wasn't a good decade.
Now, don't get confused here, because there's several
Go
of them. The Invisible Man.
Ooh, was there a series of that? Was there?
Oh, there sure was.
Oh, basically hats on the end of fishing lines.
No.
Solving crimes,
No. Solving crimes, because it was the 70s.
Yeah.
Everybody solved crimes. in
Yeah,
the
there must have been no crime in the 70s.
There was no crime in the 70s.
It was solved by pumas and hats on string.
It was solved by mutants. This one was with David McCallum of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and Sapphire and Steel, the
yes.
blonde-haired one.
Yes,
You familiar with him?
I'm familiar with him.
I am saying the name right now, David McCallum.
Yeah, I think that's him, yeah.
And he was in an experiment where he went invisible, but how he coped with it was he had a latex mask
I
made.
saw that now. I do remember that series, yeah.
And a nice theme tune as well.
Yeah.
You see, there was another one that is an American version called the Gemini Man, and he used to turn invisible with a digital watch. Don't ask me how, but he did.
Yeah. Well, did you watch?
I didn't like the Gemini Man, so I put the Invisible Man with
Go
David
on, then.
McCallum there at
Go on,
number
then.
3.
Go on, move on.
I'm moving on, and now my top 1 and top 2 are interchangeable. I guess with number 2 I'll go with the $6 Million Man because it wasn't always good.
Oh, no.
It could be very boring.
Oh, no.
As a matter of fact, even as a child, I only liked about 2 or 3 episodes. I only liked the episode. Oh, please. Yeah. I only liked the episode with Bigfoot. With Bigfoot and the. Do you remember these? It was a bit too.
I have seen them. I just avoided them.
Well, the $6 Million Man is my number 2. It ran for about 4 seasons. Lee Majors.
Yeah.
Okay, well, and that,
Go on.
down to number one. Haven't we got any sound effects for this? I mean, what
Not
else?
really.
Is that it? Drum rolls?
Yeah, that's
Something?
it, yeah.
Come on, you can't ask me to do top fives with no sound effects.
We can have that one.
Go on, do that.
Hang on. Where are we? Hang on. Where's my sound effects going? Hang on. You can have that one.
Number one. How? Jeez, I'm not doing this anymore.
All I had was the David Icke sound. That's all I had handy.
The number one, and it's my all-time favourite, is The Incredible Hulk with Bill Bixby. The television series.
That wasn't too bad.
That was brilliant.
It wasn't too bad.
I've even watched it all over again.
Don't make me angry. You
wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Wasn't he great?
It was pretty good for its time.
Did you watch it while it was airing in the 80s? And
I probably did, yeah.
I did.
It was probably. It might have been. There could have been.
I mean, bearing in mind we would have been on BBC or whatever, but in America, it would take a little bit of time back then for it to get to us.
Forever. They were probably a year old by the time we got them back then.
They would have been. I think they would have been 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, look at Family Guy. We're like 3 years behind.
Top episode of The Incredible Hulk.
Can't remember any particularly. I've watched them since.
I tell you, there's a great one.
You've watched them all recently, haven't you?
Yeah, there's a great one.
Nerd.
There's a great one called Prometheus where he gets caught mid-change. So he's it's called the Demi Hulk. He's
right.
He's stuck between Banner and the Hulk.
Yeah. Fascinating.
Mind you, I guess the series was pretty boring. All in all,
it was a bit samey.
Not much happened.
Not a bit samey.
Yeah, a bit
Moved
samey.
down from town to town. Did a little bit of good. Basically, the littlest hobo, but green.
Yeah, did a little bit of good. Got into trouble with some local yobs. Got beaten up. Thrown behind a trash can.
Yeah. Then came out green.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Happy days.
As we mentioned before, it's not easy being green.
Join us here next week.
Yes.
The Out There Alternative Future Radio.
If you like, you can do. There's no real reason.
No.
You can if you want. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
Yay!
And there'll be the word subliminally. I didn't say that properly, did I?
Not really,
Can you
no.
say it?
Subliminarily.
Subliminally.
Subliminally?
Like the word sex will be in some clouds or...
Now, are these just people seeing what they want to see?
Well, listen. And
if you squint,
no.
Yeah.
They pause the video. They put a red ring around it, and you will see the word "sex" in Disney animated movies.
Yeah.
And there's also another famous scene. I think it's The Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
At a wedding scene, and there's this fish man, and he clearly has an erection.
That's funny.
Is that
The Little Mermaid?
And that's also put in a red circle.
Oh, I've got to look
and
for
pointed
that.
out. Yeah, well, we'll find it. Are you going to look for it
I'm
now?
looking for it right
because
now. I
we
wanna
really
see
haven't
it.
got time.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Well, you can have a look for it, and I'll chat away to the.
No, I've moved on now.
To the listeners,
You've
moved on already.
I move on fast.
We'll come back and we'll cover Satanism in Disney.
Yes.
And the fact that Walt Disney was cryogenically frozen.
They say he was. Is that definitely true? I've heard lots of people say it.
Who knows?
Is it true?
That's the rumor.
Certainly had the money, and there was a phase of people doing that.
And there's a lot of underground tunnels underneath Disneyland in Florida. I suppose you're probably aware
Service
of that.
tunnels.
A kind of funny thing I was reading there recently. You know all the people that are dressed up like Marvel characters or Mickey Mouse and all that. You know, they're part-time actors.
Yeah, a lot of them are. Yeah.
They're not really the characters.
No, really?
No.
Oh God.
I know. I'm joking. I'm only
dreams
joking.
Shattered.
But I think that I don't know where I read this on a forum somewhere. It's kind of funny.
Must be true then.
But they would be they would be sharing the costumes.
Nice.
But they're not allowed to use their own underwear. They have to wear underwear that's provided from Disney.
Provided.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Can you think of a better way?
Provided would be the word I'd use. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I said it correctly.
Provided.
It's me against the Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah. Okay. Is that your broad New York accent that's coming out there? Where on earth all this rock came from? And the word on the street is that they've got big tunnels underneath it, and further to that, some people believe that there's a base underneath it, a big secret base. Okay. And it certainly would make sense because there are large piles of rocks there. Jesse Ventura did a documentary about it.
He's fairly good.
Yeah, and he showed you. You could see all these rocks. They're still there. They moved so much earth that they couldn't possibly have hidden it. It's enormous.
All right.
And So, yeah, it is strange that all this should be there.
It's Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting better now, are you? You're starting to wake up a little bit.
Well, I'd happen to know that. But
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where one of my all-time favourites was filmed, Mork and Mindy.
Mork and Mindy, obviously, yeah.
Mork landed in Denver.
He did. Didn't he land in Boulder?
Boulder, Colorado.
Yeah.
Not what I said.
Nope.
Shall we move on?
And also in Denver Airport, there are some rather interesting murals. Not predicting. What's the word?
It's because we're live.
Yeah. I just can't remember the word. They're basically depicting. There's people with machine guns and gas masks on, and dead babies in coffins and weird stuff like that. Not the kind of friendly pictures that you would want to see in an airport before you got on board an airplane.
Excuse me, in the airport on the walls.
In the airport on the walls, yeah. And there's a big Masonic symbol there because the Masons had something to do with the construction or sponsoring or something. I'm not sure why it's there, to be honest, I can't remember anymore. But the murals are the weirdest thing.
And when were the murals painted onto the walls?
Well, the airport itself's not that old, I don't think. I think it was only built in the 90s.
So shape of things to come, you could say, because back in the
was
90s,
weird.
that wasn't how the world was.
Yeah, I mean, they look like sort of Nazis almost. They've got the big trench coats on and
Well,
the gas
most
masks.
American cops look like that now.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, these really do, though. 1940s Nazis.
That's weird. We need to get a few pictures of that up.
Yeah.
Up on
I'll find a video about it and I'll put it on the website under videos.
We're at alternativefutureradio.com.
Shall we?
The Out There Hour.
With Basil and Mark. You can contact us via
Facebook.com/Out There Hour.
or YouTube.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the unusual curiosity that is the Out There Hours After Hour Show, broadcasting live across the known universe on Ustream. We're tweeting like a twitty little bird in a tree, talking nonsense like gibbering idiots on Facebook.
The Out There Hour on Alternative Future Radio. The Out There Hour with Basil and Mark. www.alternativefutureradio.com.
Yay! We probably need to get an After Hours jingle, really, don't we?
I thought that was the jingle.
Well, that's the Out There Hour jingle, but we're kind of using it over and over again. We're regurgitating it.
Okay. This is a very exciting show.
It is indeed,
I'd
very
like
much
to say
so.
good morning, America, Great Britain, and Europe.
Good morning, everybody, and particularly our viewers in Kuwait.
And Nigeria.
We're big in a lot of countries. We're big in Saudi Arabia.
And Kuwait.
Oman. We're big in Oman. We're big in Israel this week as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, new one. Somebody in Israel, or some people in Israel, just suddenly decided that we were it.
I think the listenership dropped ever so slightly in Nigeria.
It did a little bit, yeah.
And I think I know why.
Yeah.
I think I know why.
Why is that then?
Well, we blew the scam, didn't we?
Oh, the gold.
The
yeah.
email scam.
Yeah.
You know, when they write to you and say that they've got a lot of money that they need to move to a bank account in a Western bank
For only $2,000.
For only $2,000,
They can send you so much money.
We went and told everybody.
We mentioned it. We've outed them, unfortunately.
We went and told everybody about it. That's why the listenership went down.
Yeah. I don't know. But did we say some? Oh, I'm not really sure why some others have gone up, and I'm still not sure why we're big in Kuwait. We not got any messages from anybody to let us know. None of our Kuwaiti listeners have emailed in, or maybe they'll come in now. We're on live. Maybe they're
give us a shout.
Maybe they're
there
free
on,
in Kuwait
on Ustream if you want to find it.
Yeah.
Where is it?
Well, if they're listening to us now, then they're on Ustream already, so they're already looking at us. There's a chat room on there, and we're monitoring that.
Yes.
Avoid it.
Well, I'm international. I've been to New York.
Yeah. Wow.
So they have to. They're given their underwear. They have to wear underwear.
Yeah.
From the company. Isn't that weird?
It is a bit strange.
You can't wear your own underpants.
It's weird.
And this particular person was just complaining about it, saying they were getting, mites and things.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What happens to this underwear when they've worn it? Do they have to wash it themselves?
No, I don't think they do. I think they hand it back to Disney, to the
and they wash
to the
those balls.
the Disney washroom.
Yeah. I mean, seriously though, in like the likes of Disney Worldland, whatever, they're gonna have tunnels underground. It's a great idea because you're not going to have people delivering burgers on the street when you've got tourists everywhere. You'd have an underground network to deliver your burgers and your, whatever, and all that
I guess
kind of
there's
stuff,
nothing too odd about it. You'd have
Not
a lot
really.
of staff going on.
Not like Denver Airport.
Oh, tell me more, Mark.
Denver Airport is a little bit unusual. You must know a little bit about that, sure.
I think I know about it. Is that where the Georgia Guidestones are?
No, they're in
Georgia.
Georgia rather than Denver.
Wow. Okay.
Great revelation there. Everybody now knows where they are.
Geography, not my big point.
No? What about English?
Not great on that either.
No? Cognitive dissonance?
Yes. Yes.
I still don't know what that means. I just keep saying
okay,
it.
Denver Airport, go ahead.
Yeah.
What's all that about then?
Denver Airport, right. If you were inclined to want to build a nice place to stay that was very safe on the whole planet, then Denver would probably be one of the places top on your list. It's about as far inland as you can get from the eastern seaboard of the US. From the west, you have to go over the Rockies to get to it, and it's also very, very high, and it's surrounded by rock. So bear that in mind. Denver Airport, when they built it, they spent loads more money than they intended. They excavated millions and millions and millions of tons of rock from what was basically a reasonably flat site to build an airport on. Hence why they choose to build airports on them, because they're quite flat. So the question's been, of course, is...
listen in and say hello and join in the conversation this morning.
There's a conversation?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Right, okay, let's be professional about this.
Okay, let's go.
What we're going to do? What we're going to talk about first?
We're going to do topics.
Topics? What's your first topic?
I guess Disney Club.
Disney Club. The Disney Club.
Something occurred to me about the Disney Club.
What is it?
Something we wouldn't know so much about in Europe. But it just occurs to me that the Mickey Mouse Club, which ran in the 80s, a lot of the kids on it went on to become major pop stars in the 90s. Now,
they did, didn't they? Yeah. They did quite well out of that.
Well, listen to this. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Justin Timberlake.
I didn't know all of those were on there, but that's
Isn't that weird, Mark? 3 of them were Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
And then went on to be major stars.
Strange,
Am I right to say in the 90s or...
Yeah, 90s, mostly 90s.
2000s.
Yeah, I mean, Justin Timberlake's still going, I suppose.
What's all that about then?
Not really sure. Maybe they were groomed on Disney?
Doesn't say a lot about modern music, does it?
Well, what do you mean? The ability to actually make something of yourself without knowing somebody in the know? That kind of thing? Or?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It means it's totally manufactured.
It is manufactured, definitely, yeah.
You know, from the age of like, I don't know how old the kids would have been. I mean, they would have started, what would it be, 9 or 10 or something like that?
They were fairly young on that show, certainly, weren't they?
Well, listeners in America can tell us.
Oh, you mean the listenership? Yes, I'm sorry, yeah.
Oh, yeah, but no, but the kids...
The presenters were very young.
Christina Aguilera and Britney, they would have been 9 or 10 or something when they were on the Mickey Mouse.
Well, as young as that?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Isn't that odd?
I know there has been a few people on there who were presenters, who were sort of in their late teens who were on there, who went on to be quite big, but I can't remember some of the names now. There's been quite a few. It's been a bit of a hothouse for making TV and music talent, hasn't it?
Yeah. And of course, there's some wacky theories out there about the connection between Satanism and Disney.
Now here we go. Go on.
I haven't got a lot.
You connect it with everything. Go on. It's all Satanism.
I haven't got a lot of details on it. I just noticed that people do stills on animated Disney movies.
Yes.